So this morning, I decided to do an audit of my socials because for the last month and a half, I've just been posting content with no direction, just because I needed to get back into the swing of things in terms of content creation goes. And when I was looking at my bios, they're pretty generic because there wasn't a direction that I was typically going or wanting to go, or at least there wasn't a direction that I set myself on. I tried a couple of things and none of them felt right. So as I go to type my I help bio statement, the I help so and so achieve X, Y, and Z by doing this thing statement, I realized I don't have that statement in me anymore. At least not on my personal socials, for my personal brand. That's more so like a LinkedIn thing since I'm building a consulting business. But I don't want to be known for a business that I built or services that I provide. And I know that's kind of like the opposite thing of what social media coaches tell you, but there's a direction in life that I feel like I'm going that I cannot hide behind an identity that I have built. I have to put my real identity at the forefront. And when I came to that realization, I asked myself, what is it that I really want to be known for? And I realized that if someone were to describe my content, this is how I would like it to go ideally. I follow this woman. Initially, I followed her because she was doing financial consulting, but then she went into teaching. But now she's not doing that anymore. She's kind of just documenting the middle. But while she's documenting the middle, she's telling her story. And ironically, I actually feel seen and understood through her personal story. That's how I want people to describe my content. I want to be known for somebody that can make impact through my own journey and my own story because during these 33 years of my life, I've lived a lot of life. I've gone through a lot of things. I've experienced many things. I've learned a lot of lessons. And I have been told a lot that I should share my story. And when people tell me that, I look at them crazy because I'm like, who's going to listen to my story and what exactly am I sharing? Because I don't need people in my business like that. And then also, when I realized that's how I want people to describe me and my content, the lie that I've been telling myself of I don't want to be seen unnecessarily was debunked because it's not that I didn't want to be seen by people. I didn't want to be seen by people who were committed to misunderstanding me. It wasn't a fear of being seen, it was a fear of being misunderstood. And the more I realized that and sat with the realization, I'm like, honestly, I don't even care about the fear of being misunderstood anymore because most people haven't even sat with themselves long enough to understand who they really are. So why am I expecting them to go out of their way to truly understand who I am? So I went down this like rabbit hole in my mind of that has to go out of the window. My goal is I want people to feel seen because that is something that I have struggled with for a very long time. And ironically, being someone that can allow others to feel seen even as a stranger on the internet is something that I would be proud of because sometimes we don't have a language for the things that we've experienced or the things that we've learned or that we're feeling until somebody else says it. And as someone who has kept my mouth shut for a long time and not told my story, or I was being reluctant to tell my story, I've also realized that I've been sitting on a confirmation for the last couple of weeks because every time I share my story, every time I open my mouth to say something in form of like my video content, or even when I was writing in the Diary of a Sidequester on Substack, I would get comments, DMs, or people would tell me in person that they feel seen when they see my content. I asked God for a while, what is it that you want me to do? And he just told me to document. And I'm like, document what? What exactly am I documenting? But I'm also realizing that the more I am obedient in doing what he told me to do and like picking a lane in something, the more clarity that I'm getting. I'm no longer confused. Yes, I can still be building a consulting business on the other side, but this is the main thing that he told me to do was to document. I don't know where that's going to take me. I've expressed that concern a couple of times, but I want people when they see me, when they see my content, when they hear my story to feel seen and understood and in a way that they've never had that feeling before. It honestly felt so uncomfortable initially when I started getting on camera again to talk from a lens of who I am as a person and not the thing that I'm doing in terms of income wise. But I'm feeling a lot more comfortable doing it now because I know that there are people attached to our names and attached to our stories, and we can't help other people if we continuously keep our mouths shut. So my hope is when people are seeing my content and coming across my story and I'm documenting the things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, my ultimate goal is they feel seen and they feel inspired, they feel understood by even a random stranger on the internet.